Welcome, Rosanetti, Milanista. And if there's any Inter fans out there watching this on our X stream, welcome. What's going on, people? Today's a huge day for us Milanistas fans. A lot going on in our club, obviously. Today is Derby Day. Obviously with the news of Pioli stepping out at the end of the season, all these coaching rumors, who's going to take over for coaching, the club for next season, which players we're going to sign, and a bunch of other news. But most importantly, today is Derby Day versus our Milan cousins. The game that we've been looking forward towards, even with everything going on with the club in terms of its form, being knocked out of Champions League. And with, the past history in the last few derbies versus Inter hasn't been the best. I think we lost the last 5. That being said, today's day for Pioli to redeem himself after the last game against Roma, the last 2 games against Roma. Chance for our players to redeem themselves, show a little bit of fire, pride on the badge that they wear, pride for the fan base, people that have been supporting this team for years or recently, doesn't matter. World Milanista at the end. All right, we got 3 people watching. That's great. Okay, so let's get this show on the road. So today's show, it's a double feature. I'm going to get into the pregame of the Milan-Inter derby, and then we're going to get into Fugly Defensive X. All right, so it's going to be a stack show. Strap in and enjoy the show. First things first, I'd like to thank all our supporters, everybody who subscribed to the channel. Has been watching our shows consistently, the stuff that we putting out with Milanistas 360, my podcast as well, Fugly Defensive X, and also John's show, Pioli Corner, and the Betting Corner as well. All right, without you guys, we wouldn't be around. All right, so let's get into the starting lineup. See what we got going on here. Let's try to get this thing to share. Just bear with me. Let's see if we can share the screen with Restream. I don't see it, but it's fine. All good. All right, so let's pull up the Gazzetta here and see what the starting lineup looks like. I know what a lot of people have been looking at it online. Let's see. So let's see what the Gazzetta says. All right. So the probable lineup for our Milan looks like Pioli is going with a 4-2-3-1. Magic Mike in goal. Then we have Calabria on the right, Gabbia, Tomori. Solid center back pairing. We got Hernandez on the other side, playing that left back position. Adli, Tijani. The double pivot, Musa, Loftus Cheeks, and Pulisic. Okay. So it looks like it's what we've been seeing online from other sources. It looks like Leao is starting as a center forward, something we have not seen before. I know in the past where Leao has played that central role, he came out and said he wasn't comfortable doing that. He likes to be out on the wing. Creating havoc on that side of the pitch. So it looks like Pioli is reinventing the wheel, trying to outsmart himself, it looks like, and maybe try to confuse Inzaghi with this lineup. On paper, it looks good. I mean, it's a strong lineup. The formation-wise is a little strange, obviously, to a lot of us, to myself as well. Having Tijani and Musa as a double pivot, as always, who knows what's going to happen with that at all? I mean, we know that Musa's had issues with defensive responsibility. Same thing with Tijani. Tijani is really great at pushing the ball up, creating chances for others, breaking the press. but defensively doesn't bring anything to the team. He's had his up and down this season. Let's look what Inter has lined up today. They're playing in their usual 3-5-2. Summer in goal, Pavard, Sherby, our favorite center back in Italy right now, right? With everything that he's been involved with, and Bastoni. We got Darmian, Barella, Hakan, Snake, and Mitrian. Mitrian has given us trouble in the past two derbies. He's a veteran player. I know Inzaghi's been using him a lot, just like, Pioli likes to overuse certain players like Giroud. So it looks like Mitrian's getting the start. We got DeMarco and Thuram up top. No, I'm sorry. DeMarco in the middle. Apologies. And Thuram and Lautaro up top. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. So it looks like, Inzaghi's sticking with his normal routine, normal players that he's been playing with the majority of the season. It's going to be interesting, though, with Inter. They've been a little bit out of skid, being that it's been a long season, exhausting season, playing in Champions League, then being knocked out of Atleti with those two really tough games. And, lately they haven't been that, A team that's been steamrolling Serie A this whole season. So who knows? That being said, it is possible if our players show up, Pioli shows up, we could, get a win out of this derby today, which would be something positive for us to end the season, especially with Pioli stepping out. It looks like referees for today's matchup was match direction entrusted to Colombo of the Como section, assistants Meli and Alacio. Fourth official is Massa. At the VAR, Marini, and assistant VAR, Mariani. All right. So that's the starting lineups for today. And let's see what they actually interviewed some people as well prior to this matchup today. So let's see what Moratti had to say about the derby today. Moratti, former Inter president Massimo Moratti spoke to Radio 24. Of course, the motivation is there, but as Inzaghi said, it must not be something that puts you in a complex condition. It would be a pleasure to have such an important and beautiful match through which we can win the start, but we must be a party, not a nightmare in short. So that's Morata's take on today's game. Obviously, Pioli confirmed Leao as a first striker, which had a lot of people scratching their head with that one right there. Let's see what we got anything in the chat. All right, give me a second here. All right, so far we're pretty good, looking good. All right, so they actually interviewed, let's see what former Inter captain Andrea Rona Coscia had to say on our interview on Radio Serie A. I've seen incredible things in derbies, legendary players, fans trembling with joy and pain. I've seen great goals, incredible saves, but I've never seen a derby that put the Scudetto up for grabs. I believe this is the first time in our derby's history that a Scudetto was up for grabs. Somebody online had posted that back in 2002 or a few years back, that was the first time. Talking to some Milanistas in our chat, at Milanistas 360 chat, it looks like that's inaccurate. That's bullshit. This is the first time. That's what everybody else is. I've been hearing the same thing. So let's keep going on. 2021 derby. I remember that 3-0. Another stone laid to win Scudetto. The dressing room now is strong. So he's saying in 2021, the derby, that Scudetto was up for grabs. If anybody can confirm that, so I don't know what's true anymore, obviously. But if anybody knows the truth behind that, please let me know in the chat or hit me up my DMs on Twitter. Let's see what continue. Andrea Roccoccioni. I always have the opportunity to compare myself with former colleagues Everyone speaks very well of Lautaro Martinez, but I had no great doubts. He and Thuram have amazed me in the relationship as a football couple. They have found a feeling that is very difficult to find. They are a perfect couple. Each has its own characteristics, and they manage to complement each other. All right, enough of Inter's bullshit. Obviously, they're confident. Even the former players, sure Thuram and Lautaro, they're licking their chops because they've had success against the club. But like I said, our team needs to show some pride today. No more bullshit. Get over the Roma game. Yeah, we came out flat in those two legs. But today is the day with our fans showing up at San Siro, home game, the Curva doing their thing, to show some pride, show some guts, show some fire. Because like I said it in the last, this previous show on Sunday in Milenisis 360 with my co-host Husney, the last few derbies that we played felt like a scrimmage, felt like a preseason game, which is disappointing because you want to see fire. You want to see you want to see skirmishes on the field. You want to see fights. You want to see yellow cards. You want to see Teo getting in somebody's face. You want to see a lot of physicality, especially from Milan. You can't go out there again and get embarrassed by Inter. Yes, Inter is going to win the Scudetto, obviously, without a doubt. But at the end of the day, we need to stop this skid and show some balls as a club. Pioli as well. Yes, Pioli's on his way out. That's what everybody's hearing. Hope it's true. Hope the management sticks to what they've been saying on the reports and find a replacement. Take their time and find the right coach to take this project in a new direction so we can compete again. Because this is Milan. We've won 7 championships leagues. We won countless Scudettos. We've had class players up and down in our history. And we can't go out like this. We can't continue chasing the Scudetto, being 15 points, 20 points behind, and being out of the race early. And then, we made the semifinals of Champions League. Great, but what happened in that game against Inter? Nothing. We came out flat for that one. All right. So let's see what happens today. Let's see what our management does going forward with the new coach. There's a lot of rumors circulating. A lot of different names are being thrown out. We have no idea. And matter of fact, from what I've seen, a lot of those coaches have been in that, rumored to be the next coach are being interviewed by Milan and Ibra and them. It looks like Liverpool thing, West Brom, a bunch of EPL teams that have coaching, they're looking for new coaches, are looking at the same coaches. And obviously they have a lot more cash stacked than we do. So we're going to have to be competing with those clubs for our new coach as well. So take that into consideration. So it might be somebody we may want, but at the end of the day, Liverpool might grab him, being they have a lot more money to offer him, a better salary, maybe a better project, better players, more funding to get the players that he wants, and maybe less, more control, being that it looks like Ibra and them wants a coach that's in line with the culture. Meaning to me is that you want a coach that says yes. All right. Whatever you guys want, bring next season as my new players, go ahead. It's up to you. It's not up to me, which I disagree. It's got to be halfway because you need the coach to be on the same page as management, knowing the players that you want to bring for next season. Because there are going to be players going to be let go. And today, matter of fact, in this game, a lot of these players on Milan, this is your job interview, fellas. You're interviewing for your new coach. So you got to remember that as well. That's an important thing to take into consideration. These players are all fighting for their spots next season. The new coach comes in, he's going to be looking at this game either in person or on or from home, wherever he's or his office, he's gonna be looking at this game very carefully with his people, taking notes and seeing what players fit in his system next season, which players are going to fight for their spots. If not, they're going to be on the bench or possibly, you know, sold. That's something it's open as well. And maybe he's going to be looking at the Primavera players as well. They're playing in the champions. They're playing in the finals of the UEFA Youth League today against Olympiacos. And last time I checked, it was 0-0 halftime. I'm not sure the score right now, but he's probably looking at those kids as well, seeing who's got the stones and the ability to step up on the first team next season or give him a crack. People like Zeroli, Simic, the starting goalkeeper, the French kid that I know Gio from Coast to Coast has mentioned plenty of times. And actually, the kid was great today in the first half. He was the reason why they kept it 0-0. Olympiacos had some really good chances to score. If anybody in the chat had any questions, any feelings about today's game, share your thoughts, please. All right, back to the Gazzetta's blog here and see what they had on Milan. All right, so Curva Sud, this is their plans for today. Curva Suda Milano has announced that a special fanzine and a sticker will be distributed to the wallpaper of the city. So they're going to be plastering the city with this stickers to gear everybody up for today's derby. All right. So not too many interviews about Pioli. I'm going to try to pull up this interview that Pioli had to say. Here we go. So I apologize. This is in Italian. I guess, let me see if I can find the English version. I didn't find it. Let's see if the English version came out. Sometimes they've been doing a better job. So what Pioli pretty much said today. Oh, here's the English version. All right, even better. Boom. Here we go. So let me ask the chat. I'm not sure if the audio was working on that one. Let's take a look here. Anybody in the chat, any questions, any feelings about today's game? Let's see. All right, apologies. Looks like the audio is not feeding through. Let's try to figure this out. Give me a second here and get this video feed up for everybody. So what Pioli's pretty much saying in the interview, let me get back to the audio tech issues in a second, is that, they're prepared, they're ready, they're going to do their best. He also was quoted that this Scudetto, this derby, wasn't about just him. It's about the players. And something interesting came up today too. I wanted to share with everybody. So this was shared with me earlier today. Let's see if I could find it. So during the press conference today, yesterday actually, Milanello, Pioli he took a dig at Milan fans, just generally speaking. He said not many have been Milanista this season. I guess he's been following the social media stuff, or he's been told by his players or maybe family members that a lot of them are not going to be watching today's game. The season's over. Why should we even bother spending our time and sitting there knowing we're going to get our butts handed at us again? And probably from the Roma stuff as well, and probably from previous games. But at the end of the day, Pioli, that's wrong. That's the disrespect and a jab to everybody because, I would say the majority of us have been sticking by this team all season long. A matter of fact, even myself, even though I've been Pioli out, I've been watching every game. I know people that I've known been watching every game, supporting the team. And, obviously now that, the people that were supporting Pioli before, and now after this the last few games and the performances and everything we've been seeing on the pitch, obviously a lot of people have turned on him as well now. Some new people, Milanistas. And deservedly so, he deserves it. He's the head coach. He needs to take all responsibility of how the club performs because he's the face of the club right now. He's the one out there talking to the fans, talking to the media, and he needs to be saying things like this during one of the biggest games of the season. The Roma game is over. We're out of Europa. We're out of all these other tournaments. Today is the day for us fans to show something. And this is what Pioli says. That doesn't make too much sense to me, actually, at all. All right. So we're in about 25 minutes in. I don't see any questions in the chat. So we got the lineup going on. And next up, let's get into some humor now on Fugly Defensive X. So anybody tuning in for the first time, this is when I usually grab some really outrageous, interesting, funny, defensive-related tweets that I find online that people send me as well. Recently, it's been a lot of stuff from the EPL, a lot of things from after the Champions League and Europa League. People just got really overreactive on certain players, their performances. They're in these really big matches. So let me get into that in a second. Give me a second here, everybody. All right. Let's pull up the other graph and get Fugly Defensive X poppin'. All right. There we go. Let's pull up the slide. All right. So first one up here. He says, greatest defender of all time. I guess he was making fun of Dier and Salah based on the performances. That Dier he likes to drink. Looks like this from let's pull this up here and see who actually put this up here. So this is from at THFC_Choi. He's got a Korean flag, it looks like, up there on his account. Greatest defender of all time versus British alcoholic. Funny. Yeah, listen. As we know, Salah is a really fucking good defender. Dier's not bad either. So it's not the most busted or fugly X I've seen out there, but funny nonetheless. So next one's actually pretty good. This one is I don't understand where this guy came from with this tweet. So this tweet is from AP at A Pieces, PIESES_. All right. So he goes on and says, Nathan Aki, one of the best defenders I've ever graced my eyes on. He's the model wide defenders, defends low to the ground, broad body span, and has superior extendable legs for radius, reach to defend more space efficiently. Excels in 1v1 duels. And he says Paolo Maldini type. And he's got a shot of Aki, who plays in the EPL, making the slide tackle. And you got Maldini making his, one of his countless fucking tackles that he's done over his career when he was playing at Milan. Dude, AP pieces. This is to compare Aki to the GOAT, one of the GOATs of defending. You can do better than that. That's just fugly, man. Moving on. Next one is squad screams for Ivan Jorak. So I actually deleted this account, not the account, but the person who tweeted this, being that they're Milanista, they want to put them on the spot. Something I don't want to do is, expose fellow Milanista on this chat, especially now on the show. Being that we're going through hard times, but regardless, he goes on to say, plays man-to-man, solid defense principles, likes physical players. So this is his starting lineup for next season. He's got Magic Mike in goal, going with a 3-back, Kalulu, Tomori, Chow, Calabria, Reindeers, Musa, Theo in the middle, and Pulisic, Mr. X, whoever we're going to sign, and Leao. The fact that he has Chow playing after this season, this shit show of a season that he had, and that's fugly just right there, just to begin with. All right. We know what Chow's been up to. Chow's been a mess this season. And then you got Calabria. Yeah, I guess that's not that bad. Reindeers, Musa as your beef in your midfield. Terrible. Because they can't play defense. We need a defender. And you got Theo. Yeah, that's cool. But to put Chow as your starting center back in a back three, come on. All right, so I got a few more here. Let's see if we could blow this up a little bit more. All right. At Castilla, so this is Dr. Chosen at Castilla Legends. He puts, but Rodri, best CDM ever, better than Prime Busquets, Casemiro. So first point, Rodri's nice. He plays for Man City, as we know, but better than Busquets, when Busquets was on that prime Barca teams with Messi and company and just destroying people. And then Casemiro is a shadow of himself at Man U right now. But at his prime, Casemiro was a baller too. And then he says, De Bruyne, Best midfielder ever, better than Prime Zidane, Modric. Again, get the hell out of here. Yeah, KDB is nice, but better than Zidane. Zidane was, if anybody saw Zidane at his prime playing for Juve and for Madrid, he was in a different world. And Modric too, he's still balling it. Even at his age of 37, I think, 38, still one of the top players. And then going further down, he put Stones and Diaz, other two EPL defenders, best CBs in the wilds. Obviously, his EPL bias, he needs to take his EPL glasses off and figure out that these two center backs are not best in the wilds. Nonsense. All right, so this is next tweet we got is at DATTOLO10, Nico De Tolo. All right, Virgil van Dijk has had one of the worst falls I've ever seen in sports. 2 years ago, people argued he was the greatest defender of all time. Now he's terrible. I wouldn't say terrible. Fuck. He's had some rough games, but come on. I know he didn't have a great performance the last one or two games, but he's still one of the best center backs in EPL history. And then we got a returning profile on the show, Daniel. So Daniel Scouting, and I actually call him Daniel I Scouting Lisa Simpson. He's got Lisa Simpson on his profile pic. They're talking about defending, and he doesn't know how to close angles. It's normal considering he practically hasn't played as a back four left back in his career before in Chelsea. So they're talking about a Chelsea player, a former defender now, and he's saying that at this point in his career, he doesn't know how to close angles on an opposing player. Listen, even you 11 kids, 10-year-old kids are taught how to close angles at an early age. And if you're a professional football player as a defender and you still haven't figured that out yet, there's a problem. So Daniel, aka Lisa Simpson, you're ridiculous. That's just fugly. And that matter of fact, the reply is even funnier. So this exploiting space, it has nothing to do with that. Look how far apart his feet is. Look how flat-footed he is, where he stood at this angle, where he's showing him outside. This is stuff 10-year-old kids are taught, yet he can't do it. All right. And I got a few more. All right. So I don't know if this person is, I think, at Ross Pagano. Yeah, Ross Pagano, ROSSPAGNERO. I don't know if it looks like they're an Inter fan by their profile pic. Holy shit. Simon Kjær in this season's form might be the worst defender I've ever seen in a Milan shirt. We've had some really bad defenders. We have some great ones too. Kjær's been great in the past for us. He's getting old. He's busted up. He's a step slower. But, dude, the worst defender this season for Milan is Chow by a landslide. All right. And then we got another EPL fan over here being overreactive after Arsenal's performance last week and getting knocked out. We know Arsenal was one of the favorites to move on in Champions League. So this is at A Happy Bard. Gabriel, he plays for Arsenal, he's center back. Under pressure is the worst fucking defender out there. No, that's ridiculous too. That's fucking crazy. He's not. He's just a pissed off fan, probably didn't like that Arsenal lost, and he's just going ham on Gabriel. And one more time, we got Lisa Simpson once again. A team with Marquinhos as a starter and captain can achieve to eliminate Barcelona at away. Congratulations to all the Barca fans. So this one's funny because Lisa Simpson posted this right before the PSG Barcelona game, saying that Marquinhos is old. With him as a captain, they're going to fucking lose against Barcelona. All right. Matter of fact, he had a pretty good game. And it wasn't because of him they lost that game. Matter of fact, it was even funnier. Lisa Simpson deleted this as well after the game, after the outcome, and seeing that Marquinhos actually was pretty good and deleted. That alone is fucking fugly. Is like, stand by your ground. If you fucked up, you said you made a bad post, stand by it. Let people debate. Let people remark. Don't sit there and delete your shit. Because people are gonna find it. People are gonna take screenshots of it. All right. This is the internet. This is Twitter. All right. Everything that you do. Matter of fact, you even delete a tweet. You can go on different websites and find deleted tweets from any time. All right. So just an FYI, your shit's out there regardless. All right. For everybody that tuned in on YouTube and X, I appreciate it. All right, let's get this going. Let's get this graph out of the way here. All right. So listen, everybody that tuned in today on the show, appreciate it. I really do. And everybody on X as well. Don't forget to subscribe, to visit our channel on YouTube. Subscribe to the channel. We're trying to hit that 100 mark subscribers, and hit that like button as well. All right. Remember, Milanistas out there, stay strong. Put all the bullshit aside. Or there are differences that we have. Yes, we have our differences about Jerry and Pioli and this and that. But at the end, we're Milanistas. All right. We all want what's best for the team, for the club. All right. So let's hope our team shows up today. It's a big match. Like I said, she needs to show some fucking pride in today's game. Show that we want to beat Inter and not have them fucking celebrate in front of our fans in our stadium. And especially seeing how, I don't want to see Hakan celebrating as well. You know, in him, he'll go in front of the curva suit and do something stupid. And throw it in our faces. So let's not make that happen today. Let's beat Inter. I don't care if it's 1-0, 2-1. I don't care what the scoreline is. Beat them, be physical, put them on their asses, and go out to win. Finish strong, and see what happens the next game. But today, this is all about taking care of our business and showing some pride. All right. Don't forget, one other thing as well. Let me just pull up some graphs here. So I got some upcoming shows too on Milanistas 360 coming up. The first one, matter of fact, is coming up shortly. Let me get rid of the clicker here, captions. All right, got a better angle. So the next show I got coming up is Legends Unveiled, the GOATs of Football. This goes out to the Kaiser, aka Franz Beckenbauer, who recently passed away. So if you're a fan of Franz Beckenbauer, fan of football, fan of just great players, you'll definitely want to tune into this special. It's going to be a recorded show. It's not going to go live, but it's coming out in the next week or so. So make sure you stay tuned for that as well. All right. All right, until then, Rosaneri, Milanistas, enjoy today's game. All right, let's add a fact. Before we do that, let's hide that. Boom. All right. Like I said, stay strong, Milanistas. Let's hope for the best today. Thanks for tuning in. Forza Milan. All right. Thanks again. Peace.